Hey, good evening. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa. I've got a big video today, ladies and gentlemen, and it is regarding a comment that someone made on our last video. And I just wanted to read the comment very quickly. It said, "I really appreciate what you're teaching. I just struggle to put them into practice." Well, we're going to go into this today, ladies and gentlemen, like we've never hit it before, because I want this situation to be cleared up about trying to apply truth. You cannot try to apply truth. Don't try to do it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the effort of trying to apply something simply puts you on a film roll of efforting, and it is counterproductive. We're going to go into that and more. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa. It's a channel where we apply the principles of philosophy, spirituality, and mysticism to rapid lifestyle development. And of course, I say the word apply very knowingly here. And it goes into something that we talked about in a video a few months ago about paradox. And I will link that video in the description. As we know from just semantics and from general linguistics, is that a word can be used in two different senses. And it depends upon the sense of the word used, how that applies in a sentence. So too in the spiritual realm, it's very important to know which level on the scale of being that we're applying a term or a word to. And I will link the video that we made a few months ago on the scale of being. It's a foundational video in this course, and it's very important. But I just want to touch upon this applying. So the first question I would ask is, why would you try to put these principles into practice? Why are you doing it? And there are usually two main reasons why people would try to apply principles or apply a spirituality. Of course, it's good in the beginning. We're told to apply the principles and to test them so that we can get a general feeling of how everything works and that we can get evidence for that on the empirical. But once we've gathered a certain amount of evidence, ladies and gentlemen, we need to simply allow the system to move and to run for itself. And I'm going to explain what this means. So, the reason why people try to apply principles, the two reasons. It's number one, that they want to be good or virtuous in some way. And a lot of people, they want to be good followers of a system. They want to be a good Stoic. They want to be a good manifester. They want to be a good Christian. They want to be a good American, and so on and so forth. They want virtue. Of course, completely misunderstanding the meaning of the term virtue, for as the Stoics and the ancient Greek philosophers taught us, virtue is not a puritanical concept. It is a concept meaning being everything that you can be as the kind of creation that you are. So being fully human with all of your faculties flowering, that is virtue. And that cannot come by effort. So Marcus Aurelius said in the Meditations, for example, that if you're, basically I'm paraphrasing, a virtuous man does not try to be virtuous. Virtue is a byproduct. The virtuous man does not know that he's being virtuous. He is simply following his inner mechanism and doing what the right action is in the moment. And of course, our inner mechanism is our emotional guidance system and our intuition. And if we allow our intuition to guide us, we will always have right action. But there's a deeper issue here. That is that you're one with everything that is. You're one with the Creator. You are it. You're one with the divine. Therefore, you must be perfect, not in the sense that everything is complete, because that is even an argument that atheists use against the existence of God. They say, well, if God were perfect, then he would not be alive, because an alive thing or a conscious thing cannot be complete because it's constantly striving after goals and so on and so forth. We won't go too deeply into that. All we can say is that we cannot understand these things rationally from lower levels of the scale. We can't try to understand higher levels of the scale rationally, thinking in terms of the lower levels of the scale. That means your reason will not serve to understand things on the higher level of the scale. You are divine. You are one with all that is. Therefore, you do not have to strive for goodness, for you are all goodness. That's the second thing. And then finally, the third thing is that you become what you seek the moment that you seek it. We know that from the spiritual principles and from the way things work in the universe, from the cosmology that we have learned through this course, that the way things are created is that you have the conception of something that you want, and that desire is immediately there. As the Bible says, God knows what you need before you ask for it. So even before you try to attain that desire is already there, and it's being held in a vibrational escrow, so to speak. All you have to do is now align with that. And we teach you how to do that in this course, aligning with that desire. But the desire is already there, therefore you are already virtuous. So that puts that to rest. Now, the second reason that people try to apply these principles are for getting things in the world. Indeed, that's why I started studying human potential and spirituality, because I was sick of trying to bang it out in the world, and I wanted a way to bring things to me with more ease and with less effort. And indeed, it will do that. But first of all, the problem with the thought that you have to apply effort to bring yourself something in the world, as Joe Dispenza says, that's the lie of separation. As we said, we're not separate because we came into multiplicity, but at root, we're still in that unity. Therefore, we're all united. And physics is coming to the conclusion and bringing the proof that this is all a network, that no one is separate. Therefore, according to even physics and science, everything that you want is already here at the moment that you want it. You're not separated from that. Therefore, how could you have to apply anything? Your desire is yours the moment it is born. Now, the law of assumption and law of attraction, we go into this simply for playing with energy in the game. For you are able at any time to become one with that divinity and to know your oneness, and then you're out of the game. But we came for the game simply because we didn't want to stay in that state of constant positive emotion. We wanted to come shake it up. And when we have negative emotion, then we conceive of new desires. So this game is something beautiful. Now, in this game, there's a gap. The gap is created because when you desire something, you don't always believe that you can attain it. Therefore, there's this gap that can be felt emotionally, and you have to somehow close that gap or transverse that gap in order to manifest your desire into your experience. So, you do that vibrationally. You don't do that by applying, because the very act of trying to apply something or trying to take effort to get it is a negative vibration and separates you more from your emotion. This can be understood even more presciently from Vadim Zeland's concept of the film rolls, and we did do a video on the film rolls. Now, when you're on a film roll of something that you don't want, and then you try to effort either to get away with it or to get away from it or to bring something that you do want, the very act of trying to make effort to apply that puts you on a lower film roll. And that film roll not only now has the undesirable aspect, but has the negative emotion of effort. So you're putting yourself on a worse film roll. And of course, we already know that the film rolls are predestined and pre-written, so effort is useless anyway. Why would you try to apply something or make effort to something that the script has already been written? It's already predestined. Therefore, your only way out is to get into another state, and that is to surround yourself by the wish fulfilled and then get on to another film roll. And you can do that eventually. This is why Taoism, by the way, is called the watercourse way. You simply allow yourself to go down the stream. So for example, when you find a negative situation in which now you're trying to apply spiritual principles to get out of that negative situation, the best thing to do is to stop and just relax and just allow yourself to flow down that river. When you do that, you're automatically gaining higher emotion, getting into a higher state, and now you get off that film roll onto a better film roll where there's a better destiny, and so on and so forth. That momentum keeps carrying you up. Are we making ourselves a little bit clear? So there's never any reason to try to apply something when you're making effort. Now, of course, as we said, this is the paradox. You do apply the principles, and we're going to be teaching, especially over the next few weeks, we're going to be teaching some major principles that you can apply and improve your life. But you apply these principles without effort, and you apply them without thinking. And you apply that, and how you do that, how do you apply the principles without effort? You do it by applying that principle as an end in itself. And of course, you have the aim in your mind, but you keep it in the very back of your mind. You don't try to apply the principles to get something, rather, you apply it as an end in itself. And how will you know when you're doing this? By your emotion and by your feeling. So when you're actually applying a principle and you have a negative emotion, or you think, oh, I can't do this well, or I'm not doing this, stop immediately and just get into presence. And we're going to have a meditation at the end of this that's going to take you there very quickly. But we apply them as an end in ourselves. What's an example of this? Say I want to manifest $100. Well, I can apply the principle of journaling, which is a very powerful principle, and I can ask myself, why do I want $1 million? How would it feel if I had $100 or $1 million? I think I said 100, but we could start simple with 100. How would I feel if I had $100, and so on? But you don't think in your mind, okay, now I want a result from this. No, because then you're making effort. But what you do is you just say, I'm really enjoying this process. I'm really feeling now in the state of having that $100. And if it does that, then that is true application. That is good application. We don't try things in this course. We don't make effort. And trying is futile anyway, because as on the film rolls, everything is predestined. Krishnamurti said, do not try it. Either do it or don't do it, but don't try. So do not try to apply the principles of this course. Rather, you practice them as an end in themselves, and even better, you simply be in the state of your wish fulfilled, and you don't care what the physical is telling you. And you just be in that state, and any work that you have to do and any principles that you have to apply will simply come, and you can't help but practicing it at that point. So, the focus on applying these principles, the principles that we teach this course, is always to feel better. Even the focus of the point of getting into state is to feel better. We're striving towards everything so that we can feel better, but of course we don't become obsessive over our feelings. So this journey is an inner journey, it's a feeling journey, and ironically you're already there. And once you know you're already there, everything that you want to create comes effortlessly into your experience. So you don't have to apply it. There's nothing to apply. There's nothing to put into practice. There's no course that you have to now go and take a test and put into practice. You are it. And I think that's the most important thing that we could say here. You are it. So as Joel Goldsmith said, stop trying to apply truth. Just relax into it and just go with the flow and allow yourself to go down that river towards everything that you want. Now, I just want to do a very short meditation. And it's going to basically get you into that state of knowing that everything's coming through you. So I just want you to close your eyes and you can sort of look up toward the horizon. And I just want you to breathe, and I want you to feel yourself breathing through your heart. Get completely calm and completely present. Now I want you to say, I am. And I just want you to say that silently to yourself, just I am. And no matter what thoughts come to your mind or what situation you think is happening, just say I am. Breathe through your heart. I am. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a few seconds. You get into your I am. And from that state, everything that you want will simply unfold. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be taking a lot of principles and putting them into videos this coming week. And next weekend is going to be very dynamic with a lot of great videos. I am doing coaching calls where I take you through these aspects personally and make a customized plan for your rapid lifestyle transformation. I will put the email in the description. So until very soon, with great love, this is Javier, and we'll see you very soon.